What's happening, everyone? Steve here, Cars with Steve, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about the media screen inside of the 2022 Kia Sportage. This is going to be a fairly in-depth look at that media screen, going through all the different buttons, all the different features, how to set up Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and everything in between. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, but let's dive into it, have a little bit of fun, and see what this media screen is all about. Right, next up, let's take a peek at the media screen of the vehicle. So this media screen is going to be the standard size, so it's an 8-inch media screen. It's going to be standard across the entire vehicle lineup. When we get into the SX, so the highest trim level available, that's going to also include factory navigation. But this specific one does not have factory navigation. We are just looking at Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in order to connect, in order to use Google Maps, Apple Maps, Waze, things like that. We can click on the home icon there in order to bring us back to this basic home screen. We can figure out what's going on with our audio, so what station are we currently tuned to. If we were connected to Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, that would show up. We've got our menu, My Menu, Apps, and Setup. So we've got a lot of different options here. Let's go through each one as we go. So moving in, so we've got our FM, so our AM, FM, so we've got our radio selection there. As you can see, we've got our series of different presets. So in order to save a preset, all we're gonna do is tune to whatever station we want to. We're just gonna press and hold. And as you can see, the station is now saved. It really is that simple. I love how simple that is. We can easily select whatever station we want to there as well. We can click on our band to go AM, FM. We can look at our info if we want to have the info of what's showing. And then we can also scan by pressing that button. Moving along the very top, we've got our station list. We can delete presets if we wanted to go that route. Press our back button there again. Back into our menu screen again. We've got our basic sound settings. And I say basic, but there are a lot of options when it comes down to it. So we can adjust what's going on with our actual balance. We've got our volume, so we've got our system sound, phone projection as well. The beeping that we're getting here, if that drives you nuts, we can disable it. So we disable that, we don't get the beeping anymore. So whether you have that one on or not is going to be a matter of preference. We've got a series of different system sounds as well. So as our ringtone comes in, and then our voice command prompts. Moving back, we've got our tone, so we can change our treble and mid-range bass. We've got our priority as well, so startup volume limit, proximity warnings, and then some advanced ones. So speed-dependent volume. So if the vehicle is going faster, it's going to turn the volume up for us. And then we've got our default, so we can bring everything back to our factory defaults instead. So if you've played around with the settings too much, we can just default that if we want to. And that's going to be the basics of the radio. Moving back, as you can see, we can now move into our all menu. We've got our phone now, so we've got a few different ways we can hit the phone. So we can go phone in there if we were connected, we jump into all menu, and we go into our phone.
Turn Bluetooth on from your device in order to search.
So setting up
your device, select the name that matches vehicle name on the screen.
All right, so very straightforward there. What we want to do is after we hit that button, we're just going to go into our phone. So we're going to start off on the iPhone side of things first. So literally all you're going to do on your phone, make sure that your Bluetooth is turned on. And as you can see, Kia Motors. So we're just looking for the vehicle name. We're just going to select in the vehicle name. Okay, we want to make sure that these numbers match up, which they do. So we're going to hit pair. There we go. All of my favorites and contacts to sync. Yes, we're going to allow that. The phone is now connected. It really is that simple. So we click into the phone now. And as you can see, we've got my downloads there. So we've got all my previously made numbers. We've got my dial pad. We've got my contact book, and then my favorite list there as well. So we are fully connected. If we jump back into the home screen again, as you can see, we've got my phone, and we've also got my Bluetooth audio. So that's really, really nice because we can select between different audio sources, with our phone being one of them. And that's the basics of actually setting up the phone. But one of the nice things is that we do have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So setting up Apple CarPlay, very straightforward. All we're going to do is take our USB cable, and we're going to plug it into that front USB port. Step one is done. Step number two, we're just going to take that USB cable, we're going to take our phone, and we're just going to literally plug this thing in. And watch this. Okay, activate Siri in the phone settings. So yes, we want to make sure we do that. So we're going to hit OK. And do we want to allow CarPlay while the phone is locked? Yes, we want to make sure we do that. And it should take a second, and we are connected. We launch into CarPlay. Look at this. We've got my messages, we've got my Apple Maps, we've got Google Maps, we've got Waze, and we can use these things directly through this screen. So that's why I'm saying, like, if your vehicle doesn't have factory navigation, don't worry about it, because we still do have flexibility of connecting this way instead. And one of the cool things is whether we're connected through Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, etc., we can still use our radio. So we can still rely on the radio instead of using our phone. But one of the cool things, we've got LiveX Live, which is a radio app. Pandora, things like that will work through this middle screen as well. So that's a pretty cool thing. Now, if we want to get out of this, we could disconnect the phone if we wanted to, or we just press the Kia button there. So we can jump back in easily by pressing Apple CarPlay. And one of the cool things about CarPlay is that we've got some flexibility, because if we go into our general phone settings, we go into CarPlay, we can select Kia, and we can customize this. So if you have a tendency to maybe listen to podcasts a little bit more, maybe you love your audiobooks, we can drag and drop to whatever your own personal preferences are. If you've removed one too many things, on the very bottom they will show up there, or we can just do a reset in order to reset it back to our factory default instead. So really cool that we've got that option. All right, now if we ever want to disable CarPlay, so one thing we have to do first is actually physically unplug from the vehicle. We just go to setup for a second, and we've got our phone projection now, and we can disable or enable Apple CarPlay. So if we disable it, it's now disabled. If we plug in, and one of the nice things there is that if you want to still be charged up and not use CarPlay, we can easily enable or disable it from there if we wanted to. So Bluetooth audio is disabled technically on this thing, but if we jump back to our home screen there, we've got my phone as well. So we click on phone, and as you can see there, we do have my phone settings there. We can jump inside, and we're back to our dial pad. So it really is that simple. Right now, connecting an Android device is literally the exact same process. So I still do have the iPhone connected, because if we go into Bluetooth, so you can see we have a series of different settings there, but we go into our Bluetooth connection, and as you can see, my iPhone is still connected. We can delete the devices, or we can add a new one. So what we're going to do is hit add new, and then on your
Bluetooth on from your device in order to search.
So literally about to say that.
Select the name that matches vehicle name on the screen.
So we just want to connect Kia Motors. Okay, same thing. We want to make sure that the numbers pair up, and they do. So we're going to hit that. And here we go. So Galaxy has been connected. And we want to set it, so set it as a priority phone. So if you have multiple phones connected, your priority phone is the one that's going to connect first. So there we go. As you can see there, it is now connected. So if we go back to the home screen now, we jump back into the phone, and it's asking, do I want to allow access to contacts? Yes, we want to do that. And it's downloading the contacts there as well. So we dial back in, we've got my dial pad there, we've got my contact list and favorites, and it really is that simple, connecting the device. Right now, very similar to the iPhone side of things, we do have the option of connecting to Android Auto. So all we have to do is take our USB cable, and we're going to plug it into the available USB port in front of us there. Opposite end of the cable, we're going to plug in, and we're going to wait. Okay, it's available, so we just have to wait for it to show up on the car. Go back home, and Android Auto. Wahaha, look at this. So as you can see there, I am connected. We hop inside, we've got our basics for settings, we've got the hotkey for our map, we've got our notification center, as well as our Google Assistant. We press the button in the middle there, and as you can see, we've got podcast, map, phone, messages, and a number of other things. Right now, very similar to the iPhone side of things, if we want to change around the actual look of this, all we're going to do on our phone is select Android Auto, and search for Android Auto, I should say, and we're going to go to the Android Auto settings. We jump into our settings, we've got the currently connected car, we can generalize the launcher, or we can customize the launcher, I should say. So if you have a preference, I don't know, maybe you'd rather have your, let's go reminders on the top instead, podcast down below, etc. We can move these things around, but one thing to note, we do have to restart Android Auto in order for these things to change. So it's not a dynamic press the same way that iPhone was, but we still do have the flexibility to change it around. We can go day-night mode for maps. We've got our Google Dictation, Google Assistant, and a number of other things. Now, we do have that option of pressing the steering wheel button. So as you can see, we've got the Google Assistant. That's going to work the same way for Siri as well. So we can press that button on the steering wheel in order to get both our Google and our Siri Assistant. And then very straightforward, we want to get back to that Kia home screen. We press the key button there. As you can see, we're back into the home screen again. We go into our settings, phone projection. So this is one thing to think of. If we want to make any changes, disconnect Android Auto, we do have to physically disconnect from the device first. We go phone projection, and we can disable Android Auto and Apple CarPlay if we wanted to. So we can disable either one. And that's one of the cool things, because we can still charge the phone up without having to worry about being connected to Android Auto. So we've got a little bit of flexibility when it comes down to it. Now, one thing to note, as I mentioned, certain vehicles, certain trim levels of the vehicle will have a wireless charging pad. That's going to be the highest trim level that's available. And otherwise, we are going to be a regular USB connection in order to charge this thing up. And that's how we connect a phone to the vehicle. If we want to delete, all we're going to do is go setup, and we've got our phone, or we're projection manager, or our phone settings. We go to our Bluetooth. We've got both connected devices. We can delete devices simply by selecting them. 1 and 2, we're going to go both, and we're just going to go delete. Yes. And as you can see there, fully deleted, and it really is that simple, connecting and deleting a phone from the vehicle. All right, now moving back to our home screen again. Jump into our all menus, and we've got a number of other things. So we look at our quick guide, and that's going to give us some basics of how some of these things work. Moving back, we could have pressed the back button there. So we've got back, and we can jump into our radio there again. Back again, if we had other music connected, we could do that. And we've also got our basic setup. So setup, we've got a lot of options there. So sound, we've already been through this sound one. Moving into our media, so same thing, we've got our basics for our media notification center. Our display. So we've got a few different modes there. So the vehicle itself is currently in the automatic mode. So it can switch us up between the daytime or the nighttime mode, just depending on how bright it is outside. Automatic means that the vehicle is automatically going to adjust it for us. Illumination, we can change the actual cluster screen there. And we've also got our default settings, so we can bring everything back to our factory defaults again. Moving into our Bluetooth, so same thing, we've got a series of different Bluetooth settings there. We've got our Bluetooth prompts, our Bluetooth system info, and a number of other things. Moving back, phone projection is where we go in order to either enable or disable CarPlay. Looking at our home screen, so we can play around with what's showing on the home screen itself. Our date and time, so we can change minute, year, hour, etc. 12 and 24-hour mode, so if you prefer that military time, we can do it. And we've also got daylight savings time as well, so the vehicle will take daylight savings time into account. We've also got our languages, so we can change between either English, French, Spanish, or Korean. Moving back again, next page, we've got our keyboard. So we've got the keyboard type, so either QWERTY keyboard or defaults. And we've got our screensaver there. So we've got a few different options. So as nice and as big and beautiful as that screen is, if we find it a little bit too much, we've got some different options there. So when the screen is turned off, it's actually nothing's going to be displayed, or do we want an analog or a digital clock instead? Moving back, we've got our advanced mode. So advanced mode, few other things. So we've got our advanced buttons. So we've got an individual button there that can go for phone protection, Bluetooth audio, things like that. And then we've got our steering wheel mode button. So as we press the mode button on the steering wheel, what's it going to select between? So we've got our AM, FM, USB music. We've got our iPod, phone projection, things like that. So a lot of flexibility when it comes down to it. And then we've got our basic for our system info. So we've got our storage, defaults, etc. And then we can also do a software update. And that's going to be the basics of this media screen, because if we go through our My menu, same thing. So we can add, and if we want to create our own custom menu, so we go to My menu, we can look at our radio presets and different shortcuts, apps and info. We've got our quick guide for that, and then our basic setup as well. So that was pretty neat, right? I hope you learned a thing or two. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Think about subscribing and sharing it with your social networks. And if you have any questions, drop down in the comment section below and let me know. More than willing to talk you through any issues that you might be having. But until I see you next time, make sure you stay safe.